Okay, so now I'm working, this demonstration is going to be using one of the printouts, which is an option for you as well. And we want to look at mixing with colored pencils. So if you notice the purple in her coat, which is very important because it's called Woman in a Purple Coat, it's like a red purple or a red violet. So we're going to actually mix red and violet together to get that color. So certainly you could go back and forth, but you'll find that the colors don't mix as well if you just go back and forth. One technique that we really like to use and gives you a nice smooth texture is called scumbling. It's a funny word, but it basically means doing it like if you were doing drawing curly hair, and I'm just going over and over. I'm going to hit that edge real good because remember in the last video we talked about getting the edges done first. So you have nice clean lines between your colors. Right, coming through here, getting the edges, scumbling, little tiny circles, trying to get a pretty even coverage of that violet. Now I'm going to pick up my red and I'm going to go right over top of that. Again, scumbling. And the smaller your circles, the less you will see the texture of the scumbling, the closer you'll get to what we call burnishing, which is a very, very smooth application of color. And if you want to, you can always go back over it. And I'm mixing these two colors together and trying to get something that is closer to her actual coat. Okay, so that's scumbling. Another approach is simply cross-hatching. Again, I'm going to start with the violet. We'll try this up in her arm. Now, cross-hatching is a back and forth stroke that is a consistent angle. I'm going to be consistent with that angle, and I'm going to come back with my other color going the opposite direction. Now, cross-hatching can be a really nice texture, but you'll notice the difference between the cross-hatching and the scumbling. The cross-hatching just doesn't give you that same saturation of color. Now, since Matisse is our master of color, vibrant color, we want to keep that color. So I'm recommending that you try the scumbling technique over the cross-hatching. Now, the other thing that scumbling does is it lays down the colored pencil quite thick. Now, this is an option, but I think you might enjoy this. Notice the white that he leaves in his painting. He's leaving the white of the canvas and allowing these nice gestural lines that follow the form. If we have a nice thick layer of scumbling down with our colored pencil, then we can take one of our scratch art tools like this and carefully try to scratch. Remember, because it will kind of rip the paper. Try to scratch some of those lines in. As I do this, because this is such a thin piece of paper, we might actually want to try that scratching after we've trimmed this out and glued it down to this piece of paper. Then I think if we scratch right through this, there you go, that works better. You can get a nice texture. You can also try that with a thumbtack or even a paper clip. Or you can also come back in with a white pencil, but the white pencils don't really work that well over top of the colored pencils, but certainly you can give it a try. Again, this texturing and scratching is optional. You might want to explore it if you want to keep the white lines in his work. And then finally, remember, you're going to go back over this, perhaps not every edge, but look closely at his work and where the black Sharpie is used.